Hello, hello. Whew. Oh no. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Or I just said hello. Because I'm on live. I'm live.
Oh.
It's okay. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. How are you? How are you? I'm running a little bit behind, but that's okay. We're going to get this show on the road, and it's going to be a good time.
Don't leave that in the room.
What? No. That's Amelia's grilled cheese. Oh,
Hey,
my
Mama.
Lord. Hello, hello.
What you need, Mama?
Well, tonight I'm doing tonight I'll be doing a crash course in brush lettering. Because I'm in the middle of the hashtag Love Your Strokes lettering challenge. Ooh. And because I'm in the middle of the lettering challenge, I'm gonna walk everybody through some tools, tips, tricks, strokes, and letter formations to better help us all become either better letterers, or if you're new to better lettering. If you're new to lettering, this is where I think this is a great place to begin, because it's a nice little crash course in everything you'll need to know to be good at lettering. Also, if we could forgive my nails. Hey, Brittany, because I've been at work. All right, so you know what? Good Lord. Ooh, let me see. Ooh. Oh, pow. Here we go. All right, I'm still doing a little bit of setup. How's everybody's Tuesday going? I do hope that it is going well, because it's been a day. It has been a day. Whew. All right, so I am going to be talking about I'm okay. I'm all right. I really can't complain. Let's see, work was cool. Ooh, I watched the end of that. It was really good. So, you're in for a treat. All right. So, let me make sure I've got my handy dandy list of things I'm going to cover today. All right. So, I said tools, how to letter, strokes, and letter forms. I'm going to take some notes in my handy dandy notebook. So, 1, tools. 2, how to letter. 3, strokes. My pen is dying. 4, letter forms. Okay, and in case you guys are wondering, like if ever I'm writing in a hurry, bow, this is what you get. So let's hop into it, because I have already used up 5 minutes of our allotted hour time. So first, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lena. Hi. You guys are listening to the voice behind the hands, behind the letters on my page. I am Chicago South Side, generally born and raised, right? When people ask me where I'm from, the best way to describe it is Chicago by way of Oklahoma City, because I lived in Oklahoma City for 6 years. I've been lettering for about 3 years, 4 years. My daughter will be 4. So I've been lettering about 3 years. And let's go ahead and hop into it. So, tools for this lettering challenge. Y'all, my nails look terrible, and it's not a reflection on the polish, because the polish I have on is actually a really good polish. But you know how you be driving. I drive, and it's all bad. Anyway, let's step away from my nails. So, tools. I'm gonna run down sort of hello some of my favorite basic lettering tools. 1, a pencil, right? And it can be, if you're getting an artist pencil, the 2B pencil, or like a regular mechanical pencil. Those are definitely great to start with. That way you can do your warm-ups by like working through your strokes, keeping your hands loose. I realize I'm recording at kind of an odd angle. Here we go. Those are my keys, my face mask, and the polish that I'm wearing. So keeping your hand loose, right? One of the things I want you guys to keep in mind is that you're gonna come, like, the skills that are required for brush lettering have nothing to do with how we learned how to write, how we learned penmanship, right? So for example, hello is HELLO. Or even if you're writing it in cursive, it's see? Right? I feel like that's our elementary school cursive. Hand lettering, we're breaking that apart, right? But when I get to how to letter, I'll talk about how we're breaking this apart. So, pencil, tools, paper. You guys will see me mention the Rhodia dot pad. This one is a smaller one. But this is the Rhodia dot pad. You can get these from Michael's. You can always use a coupon on them. You can get them through their website. Their paper is just, you have a touch of paper and you go, man, that feels good. Like, that's the best way to describe the Rhodia paper. I've got their dot pads, and then I have their blank pads as well. Both of them are awesome, but for learning lettering, and when you're practicing, if you guys can see these dots, they help. Come on, camera, focus. All right, let's take it out of focus, bring it back in. No? There we go. These handy dandy little dots are what helps, gives us our grid lines, right? That helps keeps us straight. So this paper, this paper's kind of awesome. This pad is awesome. It comes in like 9x12. It comes in some weird sizes, but if you go to your nearest Michael's, Amazon, you can get them there. I love them. These are great. They're really good on your nibs, your brush lettering tips. So you don't really have to worry about them fraying your tips as much because it's quality paper. It's a French company. So, get with it. So, Rhodia dot pads. Also, a lot of the other paper that you guys will see a lot of people mention is the HP premium paper. I'm using, that paper is cool. I've bought some. I like it. I dislike the price tag. So I have Office Depot Inkjet Pro paper. It's the Office Depot brand of the HP paper. Works just fine, and you save yourself, between $5 and $6 on paper. So, Office Depot Inkjet Premium paper is nice. Also, is a good feeling paper. Also, very delicate on your brush lettering nibs, so you don't have to worry about fraying or damaging your nibs when working on this paper. The difference, though, between this paper, the Rhodia paper, it's okay because I'm running a little late, so I'm still in the early parts of it. The difference between the Rhodia dot pad and this paper is that this is printer paper, so there are no dots. But you can use your pencil to create your own grid lines, right? So I'll get to grid lines in a second because that also goes into the how to letter list. So pencil, paper, brush pens. So there are two kind of brush pens you guys will generally see me use. I'm going to also mention, and I won't even say this is an honorable mention brush pen because it's not, because these pens are super great in their own right. But the thing that I would say about these is that the tips on these are a lot softer. So if you're new to lettering, I think that these can be, these markers can be a little bit intimidating. So tools. So this is the pen that I think that could be a little intimidating. These are the Pentel Touch brush pens. When I tell you these are beautiful, I'm going to give you guys a quick demonstration. The color on these is absolutely vibrant. I really like these. I use these actually when I'm writing in my planner. I do my brush lettering in my planner with these because I want to use these every day. This is my everyday brush lettering pens because I really like these. And I've charged myself to do more lettering with these pens just to give you guys a full array of different writing tools. This is the Pentel Touch. These come in like a pack of 10, pack of 12. But these are by Pentel. Right? I know you love this pink. This was the first one that I found that was just in the bag. And I can well, let me see. If you go to my website and click on how I learned lettering, these are listed. I'm listing all of these tools that I'm listing are tools that I've listed on my website. So, MightEMadeIt.com, MightEMadeIt.com. So if you head there, I know for a fact these are listed. So these are by Pentel. I love these. They're awesome pens. But like I said, the nib on these is a little softer than those on the Tombow Fudenosukes, which is next up on my list. So this one is a part of the Tombow Fudenosuke colors set. So these are all of the primary colors that come in brush pens. So you can get them in the 2-pack. And they come in either a 2-pack or a 3-pack. But these are the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pens. And so that's spelled like this. So the Tombow Fudenosukes, you can get these. They're about $6.99 for a pack of 2. These are awesome. I think these are also really great for practicing lettering, particularly when you're using the smaller size Rhodia dot pad. These just give you a bit more. You can work in a smaller space, unlike the dual tip brush pens, which I'll be using mostly throughout this current hashtag Love Your Strokes lettering challenge that I'm doing right now, because these are a bit bigger and I can use them on like the 8.5 by 11 paper, and you can work a bigger strokes. You have the Fudenosukes, or you have the brush pen, the Tombow dual tip, the big one. And so the Tombow, these can be a little intimidating when you're starting out. I started using these when I first started learning lettering, and when I tell you I wanted to kill everything with fire because I feel like I couldn't get the hang of it. But when I got the hang of it, I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. I got it. They're the hard tip. Okay, so the Tombow Fudenosukes come with two different tips. So you've got the hard tip, which, I can't tell you which one is which. I prefer the hard tips. But one of them is a hard tip and another one is a soft tip. So you may want to, they're the hard tips. So the soft tips have a softer tip. So you may want to use the soft tip nib, but I know these are like the Fudenosukes, but these have a softer tip. So if you're struggling with the hard tip, I definitely recommend you use the soft tip, either the soft tip Fudenosuke or these Pintail Touch. These have a very soft tip. And so I know I'm heavy handed, so I prefer a hard tip unless I'm using the brush pens. So this one, I don't even know. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is a hard tip. So this one's a hard tip. Ah, okay. So what you may want to do, the Tombow Fudenosuke, the colors, these are hard tips. It says it right there, hard tip. No problem, you're welcome. So yeah, I would say try these out. If you're struggling with the hard tip, you can't seem to get, thin upstrokes when you're bringing your upstrokes, or heavy downstrokes when you're bringing your downstrokes, you may need a softer tip. Excuse me, my child. Can you just step over for just a little bit, please? She's ever so politely. She's trying to be slick, and she keeps bumping my camera. Amelia, can you please just step over? Can you walk over to Dad, please? And then we could chill out after Mommy's done. Thank you. So, Patrina, is that right? Did I say that correct? As I'm working through, okay, good, Dad. And you may be doing better because that's a softer tip. So it's a different, same skill set, different tools, but you'll still get different results. So that's okay. So these are all the tools, right? Like this is everything. So from the beginning, we got our Rhodia dot pad, Office Depot Inkjet Pro paper, a pencil. You can use a regular mechanical pencil. My favorite pencils. All right, now I'm about to nerd out real quick. My favorite wooden pencils are Ticonderoga's, hands down. I don't care what anybody says. Like this pencil is cool. I need to see if Ticonderoga makes drawing pencils. I'm interested in Black Wings too, but I feel like that's just a very expensive pencil. But maybe, I'll treat myself. So, a regular pencil, drawing pencil, 2B lid, Pentel Touch brush pens. These come in like I said, a pack of 20, a bunch of different colors. Tombow Fudenosukes, which are the smaller brush pens. And then the Tombow dual tip brush pens. Right? These are Lena's handy dandy list of tools. This is what I prefer. All right. So what are we looking like on time? Cool. So how to letter. So if you go on my website, I have a worksheet that you can download to practice lettering. What that worksheet has are these things called grid lines. And there are 4 primary grid lines. So now I'm about to give you guys a little bit of jargon, but once we get through the jargon, we can hop into the good stuff, and that's actually pencils and pens on paper. So we have our ascender, which is the A, our waistline. So think of the ascender as the top of your head. If you pat yourself on the top of your head, anything that happens above the top of your head, that's the ascender space. Your waistline, that's your belly button, right? That's your waist. That's the middle of your letters. So you can cross your lowercase t's and things there. I prefer to be a little bit in between those spaces. But yeah, so that's your waistline. That's the middle of your letters. Your lowercase letters get no higher than your waistline. Your baseline, think the bottom of your feet. That's the bottom of your letters. That's where, when we're doing our brush strokes, this is where our upstrokes are going to begin and our downstrokes are going to end. That's the baseline. And then you have the descender. So if you look at my F here, anything that happens below the baseline happens in the descender space. And there's actually a stroke that happens in this space, and that's called the descender loop. Is that transparent? Am I moving too fast? When I said it's a crash course, like I'm teaching I'm giving 3 hours worth of information in 45 minutes. So pretty please let me know if you guys have any questions. And my washing machine situation's very loud. Hold on. Uh-oh. Better. All right. Oh no. This is a medium discombobulated live that I'm doing today, and I really apologize for that. So that's the jargon. So let's walk through the strokes. There are 8 strokes, 7 strokes, 8 strokes. So we've got our upstroke. Hello, welcome, welcome. We have the upstroke, the downstroke, the overturn, the underturn, the oval, the compound curve, the ascender loop, and the descender loop. So these are all of our strokes. So it doesn't matter what pen, if you're using a pen, a pencil, a magic wand, it doesn't matter. All of your letter forms, all of your words are going to be comprised of any combination of these strokes. For example, the lettering challenge that I'm doing right now, the first word was apron, right? And so sometimes we see this, look, oh, Lena, it's so pretty. But apron is really just a combination of these different strokes. So you've got your underturn, the crossbar, downstroke, funky ascender loop thing, R's. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about R's. R's are kind of a weird letter because it happens in one stroke. So you could do like an ascender loop and then an underturn. But when you are as you work through lettering, I think R just works better as one stroke. It's just, I feel like it's more seamless. It's kind of like the letter E. I think E also works better as one stroke. So APR, you got your oval, which is your O, your downstroke, and your compound curve. So we see apron, but this is also like how to letter. It's not like calligraphy, right? And even with calligraphy, like it's broken down in strokes. There are calligraphy drills that you can do to really get more acquainted with your nib, your pen situation. So it's not, I'm hoping that one of the goals of tonight was to demystify lettering, right? To demystify my videos. Because there are a lot of people that want to learn, and sometimes we get really hung up on, well, it's not pretty. It's not pretty when you begin at the beginning. That's first. And then second, it really takes regular practice. It can be a really soothing thing, but it can also be really stressful. So give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing a great job. I think that this is hello. I think that this is a great place to start if you're a beginner or if you need to troubleshoot your lettering. I'm here to help. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. I'm on the fence about doing a paid class. But really, I'm going to save these videos. It will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can refer back to it at any time. A little bit about myself, my day job, I'm a librarian. So a large part of my life's work is access to information, making sure that these things are accessible, easy to understand, relatable, because it's overwhelming. Lettering can be overwhelming. I understand that. So let's take some of that pressure off ourselves and really off of learning something new. So now we're walking through strokes. And I'll walk through the strokes, which is what we have here. So we got the upstroke, which is that first one. And so the upstroke is going to start from the bottom and it's going to come up. And so you can either practice it straight up or you could do it at a straight angle. One of the things to take into consideration is your natural, what does your handwriting style look like? Because that's also going to inform your lettering. So let's say, for me, I'm generally right? I think I'm an up and down writer. So when I letter, I don't letter, like I have to force the slant. I'm going to just write beans for now. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Right? Beans. But generally, like if I'm writing beans regularly, beans is actually going to look more like this. And this is because I'm taking into consideration my style, my handwriting. What does my regular handwriting look like, and how does that impact my lettering? And this is something that I learned from Ensign Insights. She's one of the calligraphers that I follow, a letterer that I follow that's been super inspirational. And she also has a course on how to find your own lettering style. And so I've taken, a little bit of information from here, a little bit of information from there, and now I'm giving that back to you guys. So my style is a very straight up. I don't often use grid lines. That's just something I don't care for. I feel like it puts me in a box and I need to be free. But yeah, so that's generally this is my lettering style. It's a very, kind of kooky, a little uneven, still beautiful. But this is how I letter. This is what my lettering looks like. So back to the strokes. So your upstrokes, again, we're going to start from the bottom. It's a very light thing. Another thing to take into consideration or to keep in mind when you're doing your downstrokes, or even when your pressure is changing, when you're working through these strokes, is that it is a physical movement. It's not just a pen. It's not that the tool does something fancy. I'm going to clean my camera really quick because it's a little greasy. All right. It's not just having the tool. It's also the technique. So we've got our brush pen, and so we're going to do our downstrokes. And downstrokes, you're going to start at the top, come down. I'm adding physical pressure to the tip. And the same thing applies even if I use the soft tip Pentel. I'm going to be light when I'm bringing it up, and then it's heavy when I bring it down. It's a physical thing. You're putting pressure on your tips. So when we work through our overturn, when you get to the top, your pressure is going to change. So it's light when you're coming up, like the upstroke, but once you hit the peak and you come back down, you're going to add more pressure. So you're going to come up, add more pressure. Come up, add more pressure. Come up, add more pressure. It's a physical thing. It's you putting pressure on your pen. It's not just the pen. So this is the overturn. And now we have the underturn. So the underturn is like the letter U, but it's not the letter U, right? So when we write U, it's, how do you write your U's? Because I'm a fan of the stick at the end. So when you're writing the letter, your underturn, you're going to be heavy when you come down. When you get to the bottom, your pressure is going to change, and it's going to be light when you come back up. Heavy when you come down, light when you come back up. Heavy when you come down, light when you come back up. Heavy when you come down, light when you come back up. So when you get to the baseline of your stroke, that's what gives you the pressure change. It's a physical movement. Even when you're using the iPad, it's a physical pressure that you're putting on your Apple Pencil. It's not just, because it's technology, we can figure it out. There's still a very physical thing that has to be done. So this is our overturn. This is the underturn. Next up, we have the oval. Now, the oval is where you begin to unlearn how you learn handwriting, how you learn cursive manuscript. So when you write the letter O, we've been taught you start at the top, come down and around, and come back up. Scratch that. That's not how the oval works in lettering. You're going to start on your left. You're going to come up You're working to your right, you're going to come down, and you're going to come right back up. So instead of starting at the top, we're starting on the side. And similar to, it's like our overturn and a reverse underturn meet. I might have just complicated that. So I'll just show you how it works. So you're going to start in the middle. You're going to come up. When you get to the top, you're going to add more pressure. And then you're going to bring it back up. So it's counterintuitive to how we've learned, but that's how the oval works. It's from the left to the top, right, and back up. So you begin and end at the same place, but your pressure is going to change at the top and your pressure is going to change at the bottom. So the next stroke that we have up is the compound curve. So our compound curve is kind of like a squiggle. It's what I was doing here. So this is the oval. This is our compound curve. So our compound curve works like this. You're going to start from the baseline, like we did with our overturn. You're going to start at the bottom. You're going to bring it up, heavy when you come down, and then light when you come back up. Hello, hello. So that's a compound curve. So when you get to the top, the pressure is going to change, and when you get to the bottom, the pressure is going to change. But again, it's a physical pressure that you're putting on your pen nib. It's not just the pen. It's also you putting physical pressure on your tip. So don't be afraid to add a little bit of pressure to figure out what works best for you. It's okay. Take risks. So that's our compound curve, and I'm going to use, when I'm working through the ascender and descender loops, which are our last two strokes, I'm going to be using the Tombow dual tip brush pen, and I'm going to be using that on the Office Depot Inkjet Pro paper. And you're going to hear a little bit of a squeak. Oh, you may not hear the squeak, but that's okay. So this is going to be our ascender loops and descender loops. So our ascender loops, you're going to start, it looks like the letter P, it looks like a P, but it's not a P. So you're going to start in the middle, right, in this middle space. So it's going to come up. When you get to the top, your pressure is going to change. You're going to bring it down. When you get to the top, your pressure is going to change. Also keep in mind, similar to the other brush pens we use, it's a very physical pressure. So you are adding more pressure to your pen. So you're going to bring it up. Yes. Can you go ask Daddy for some peanuts? So that's our ascender loop. So think when I had written the word hello. So ascender loops are how I would start the word hello. Or given like the word grill. My letter L's, those are going to be ascender loops. Right? Because it's G-R-I-L-L. That's double connected ascender loops. And then you have our last stroke, but not the least, is the descender loop. So it looks like the letter J or the bottom of the lowercase g, but it works. You're going to start at the top, so it's going to be heavy when you come down. When you get to the bottom, you're going to lighten up, and it's going to be light when you come back up. So it's heavy when you come down, light when you come back up, heavy when you come down. Oh, this one was incomplete. So, those are all of our strokes. Quick review. Upstrokes, start from the bottom, work your way up. Downstrokes, start from the top, work your way down. Overturns, up and around, it's a rainbow. Underturns, it's a U. Compound curves are this funky little swiggle, right? We could ride the wave. Then we've got our oval, which is opposite of our O. You're going to start on the left, up, down, and around. And then we've got our ascender and descender loops. So those are all of the strokes, right? Like these are the strokes. But now the last thing that I have to talk to you guys, because we've talked about all of our tools, right? Let's check it off. Check. How to letter. I've explained to you how the strokes work. Did a little bit of jargon talk. Take the pressure off yourself. You're beginning at the beginning and you're doing a great job. Thank you for tuning in to Bedtime Crafting and learning something new with me tonight. I appreciate it. How to letter. Strokes. Talked about those. And now we're on to letter forms. And so I'm going to do a quick demo walking through all 52 letters and all the strokes that go into it. So let's hop to it. Now, what do you mean by 52 letters, Lena? I mean, 26 times 2. So I'm going to be doing uppercase and lowercase letters. And this is also going to be, I'm using the Tombow dual tip brush pen. Keep in mind, one of the things that I said earlier, like this is very much my style, taking into consideration like the practice that, the work that I've put in, taking into consideration my handwriting style in general. I'm also sitting a little wonky, like my tripod's in between my legs. So I'm working on the side, the side of my phone. So yeah, like it's, take the pressure off yourself because this is a couple years worth of work and you can do this. So the letter A is an underturn and a crossbar. That's uppercase A. Lowercase a is an oval and an underturn. B, I don't even know how to describe B. You'll see it when it comes together. It's actually two ways that I would write the letter B. But this is actually, the second way is my favorite way to write the lowercase b. C is it's an incomplete oval. D is, let's see about D. Lowercase d. E. So my F's look, my F's, T's, and J's are all very similar. So F. And then you've got, I write lowercase f two ways. It's either this way or this way. G, similar to the C, it's also an incomplete oval. And then lowercase g is an oval and a descender loop. H are what, two downstrokes and a crossbar. Lowercase h is an ascender loop and a compound curve. So I is a funky letter too, but that one is like, think of capital I like just a really big lowercase L. It's in a cinder loop. This pen is the Tombow dual tip brush pen. This is what I'm using right now. I did a walkthrough of the strokes with some of my favorite brush pens, which are the Pentel Touch brush pens. You can get these pack of 10, pack of 12, a bunch of different colors. So these are awesome. These are great for beginners. The Tombow Fudenosuke's, the colors, which are hard tips, and the black pack comes with a soft tip and a hard tip. So these are just, they're by the pen that I'm using, the same company, but it's just a smaller nib. And this is the Tombow dual tip brush pen. And that is my daughter. She's serenading us. And so, like I said, F and J's look very similar. So this is my J. And then lowercase j is either this one or, you know, just that one. Right, a little less flourished. I don't have this entry loop. K's begin a little bit like my F's and my F's, my J's, and my T's. So those are my K's, my capital K's. Lowercase k, L, so M is a downstroke and 2 overturns. 1, 2. Lowercase m.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
N. So N is done a couple ways, or two ways. So you got this way, and then there's so those are the 2 ways I do my N's. And then lowercase n is a downstroke and a compound curve. So O is done a couple ways too. You got the standard oval situation. Or I've got the underturn and the swoosh. So it's so those are 2 ways I do my O's. But again, this second O is a very physical pressure. It's heavy when you come down. So your pressure is changing in 2 places with this one. But that one is you can do this one. You can do it. So even with this one, I'll demo real quick. It's heavy when you come down. It's a physical pressure change. All right, now we got the Amelia. We got P. This is the only way I write my P's. I look for inspiration online for letter P's all the time. Like, oh, I need to find a different letter P. But I like this P. Like even my regular P's. Like this is my regular degular, like, you know, pencil case P. That's my P. This is my P. I love this P. All right, and then we've got Q. So Q is a standard oval. So Q is done 2 ways. Lowercase q is an oval and a descender loop. R is also like my T's and my K's. That's R. I really only write my lowercase r's this way. I've toyed with writing my r's that way. That just doesn't speak to my spirit. S. So lowercase s happens two ways. It's either this smaller s like that, or it's a upstroke and then a descender loop. So there are two ways to write s. But this s is usually my favorite lowercase s. T, that's my capital T unless it's like that. So this T is usually what I'm doing when I'm writing the, because I like to combine it with like this. Right? Like I enjoy this T when I'm combining it with another letter. Lowercase t can happen two ways, similar to the lowercase l, or you could just do an underturn. U, it's the only way I write my capital U's. V, W is two underturns. Also, keep in mind that as I'm writing these letters, I'm lifting my pen up. And you do lift your pen up between strokes so that you can reset, maintain consistency. You do lift your pen. That is okay. That was one of the things that took me a minute to learn. And once I cracked that code, I was lettering on everything. X is a compound curve. When we write our X's regularly, you're starting at the top on both sides. Brush lettering X's are completely different. Unlearn that. Right? That X is that's just not a pretty X. Y, for me, only happens one way, which is like that. My lowercase y. And then our final letter is Z. And Z happens two ways. So you've got the fancy Z. Right? She's in the back making all the noise. Z. And those are all of the letters. And that's how they all come together. Each and every stroke, I broke it all down. I will be saving this video, so you're welcome to come back to it. Refer to it for practice, inspiration. If you're not quite sure how a letter works, I broke it all down here. One thing I don't do very well, I don't do letters, numbers. So let's go. Let's see. 1. She got the world's most expensive coloring book from Target the other day. I feel like I've never paid $10 for a coloring book until I went to Target with this kid. Alright, so you guys have given me something to practice. I'll work on my letters. I'm sorry, my numbers. Yes, ma'am, I will be posting this to IGTV. You should write $10. All right, let's see. Let's try it. Okay. Yeah, the coloring book was $10. It was $9.99. I was so, yes, girl, $10. 10 whole hard-earned dollars. Yes. So, does anybody else see this on the internet and it stresses them out? So I guess my dollar signs will look like this. So yeah, so $10 is how much that coloring book was. I know. The world's most expensive coloring book.
I can't tell by looking at it on the image.
Hey, Daddy. Hey, Daddy. Hey, Daddy. Hey, Daddy. Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I got
$10.
a real, real
Yeah, like I'll see people like that. That stresses me out. That stresses me out so bad. But yeah, this will be saved to the IGTV. We've got about 8 minutes left. My daughter is giving us our background music. Do you guys have any questions for me? So that wonderful noisemaker I have in the back, she is 3, so she'll be 4. So I started lettering shortly after she was born. So let's say I probably started January, February 2017. So yeah, it'll be 4 years in January. But it's also been like obsession. Once I have set my mind on learning something, I'm gonna learn it. And so brush lettering is just the next iteration of that. Like I taught myself how to crochet. I think I just recently threw the ugly scarf away. Like everything that I've learned how to do except sewing. Because sewing, I took a class and I took home ec. There is hope for you. I took home ec 7th grade and learned how to sew some pajama pants. So that is where my sewing, I can navigate a sewing machine in that way. But yeah, you can do this. I believe in you. I'm rooting for you. Actually, I don't. I feel like I get like I've had 3 projects this year, where I've been commissioned to do lettering. I do handmade SVGs. I just recently did a suite for baby sprinkle. And when I said these invitations are super cute. I don't sew for the public. Oh girl, I'll ask you, but knitting was the one thing I tried to learn, and I said this isn't meant for me. I still have my knitting needles, the yarn, I got it all, but I said this is dumb. Like this is so dumb. I couldn't get it. So yeah, if you go on my website, you can commission me for projects. I make my cake toppers that you've seen on my page. Actually, I have one that I can show you. Features hand lettering and calligraphy by me. And then it's digitized and turned into. I've made some really fun stuff with calligraphy. Actually, I can't even So this is a cake topper I made for my niece. This is a vinyl decal. This is also these are things that you're welcome to purchase from me on my website. Oh, here you go. Here's a sneak peek of the bottle toppers that I made. So pop it when she pops. This was lettered by me. Thank you, husband. This was lettered by me. So, I'm very flexible. I can work with you to bring your vision to life. But yeah, this is what I do. I'm Chicago's crafty calligrapher mama, and that name is on purpose. So yeah, thank you for that question. That was a great question, actually. You're welcome to check out my website, www.mightymadeit.com. You can follow me here on Instagram. I'm live every Tuesday, just about every Tuesday at 9 o'clock for #bedtime crafting. But as you guys can hear, it's not bedtime. So, but we're, oh, I didn't pin a comment. I should do that, right? God. I may have to do something on connecting the letters, because I have not, can I pin this comment? Am I that important? I may not. Oh, there you go. Pow. www.mightymadeit.com. That is my website. So you're welcome to check that out. So I don't know if I'll have a class on connecting the letters. as much, I can add it to the roster. But that's part of the reason why I'm doing the lettering challenges. I do a lettering challenge every month, because the one of the thoughts behind that is you guys can see how it comes together and how these things get connected, how the letters work together. And I give you like the specific prompts are to help work through how the strokes connect to make letters. So are you talking about like this kind of connection, or like trickier letter connections, like, I don't know, TH? Right? Letter connections like that, or that's a terrible TH. Let's slow that down. There we go. Or do you mean, oh, either? Okay. Well, yeah, I'll add those to the roster. I appreciate your interest. Okay. But yeah, if there are any other questions, you guys feel free to DM me. There's a place where you can contact me or email me on that site. I also have a shop. You're welcome to check out the shop. I'm happy to letter for you guys, with you guys, help you work through it. Yeah, like welcome to the party. We're on this journey together. And I'll actually be live this Thursday with my calligraphy cousin, the lettering journey, Brittany of the lettering journey, and we'll be doing some iPad stuff and just having some general lettering and chat. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. I appreciate everybody that stopped in today. Hopefully I answered all of your questions as thoroughly as possible, because that was the goal. Remember, if you're going to participate in the lettering challenge, it's #LoveYourStrokes. You can use that hashtag and tag me at MightE Made It. I love it. I love to see it all, get you guys excited about lettering, working through it. Thank you for looking forward to it, Katrina. And I'm really glad that it was very helpful. So again, I look forward to seeing you guys on the internet. And I'm going to save this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. And next week, my nails will be polished, because this is crazy.